Then let's come to still on where to trade, still on the exchange. I want to try and round up now. So trading exchange, there are things to consider when choosing your exchange. Number one is security. Um, we'll explain everything into depth, maybe in subsequent time. If we have a general agreement, we can make it twice a week, provided it falls into my schedule. We can make it twice a week so that we can catch up things quickly. We have a lot to cover. So you can also throw questions in the group. Just throw questions. There are things you don't understand. You can write down your questions so you don't forget and throw it in the group. Okay, you can chat me up also. I'm in the group there. Just give me questions, and as time permits, I'll answer. So things to consider when choosing your exchange. Try to open an exchange. You might not be able to fund it, but you can just open it so you can play around. But please, all these things need practice, especially for those of us that are just starting. Now, there are a lot of exchanges, but a lot are also scam. Some are good, some are not scam, but some are not as strong as others. So when you want to choose an exchange, what do you consider? For me, all these things, they are not any standard from anywhere, but it's just my own opinion. Number one is security. I look at security. There's a centralized exchange and there's a decentralized exchange. We can explain that later. So I look for security. I look for the exchange that is more secure. Okay. And there are things to look at, to consider when talking about security. How big is the exchange? So that's why I said Binance. I will use Binance because Binance is number one in the world. Okay. So I look at liquidity. Now that exchange must have liquidity. That is the amount of money in the exchange, the amount of people trading. So if Binance is the biggest in the world, of course, it means they have the highest liquidity. So it's not advisable to trade in low liquidity exchange. Anything can happen and they might not be able to refund your money if anything happens. They can be scammed. They might not have good security. They could hack them because they are centralized exchange. They could be hacked. And if they are hacked, your money is gone. Like Binance has been hacked and people lost, yeah, people lost money. That was 2000, I remember 2018, Binance was hacked. Some people lost money, but you know what? Binance refunded the money to them because they are big. So that's why it's good to, it's not too good to use smaller exchange. It's good to stick to the bigger ones. So liquidity. Now the market currency pair or the product. What do I mean by market currency pair? Now I said we'll be using Binance because Binance has Naira markets. Unlike other exchanges, I don't think there is any other exchange that have Naira markets, but Binance have Naira market. So in Binance, I can trade Naira dollar. In Binance, I can trade Naira. I can trade dollar Naira. In Binance, I can trade Bitcoin Naira. In Binance, I can trade Ethereum Naira. Okay, so that's the market. So if I want to pick one exchange, let's say I want to pick KuCoin, and I want to trade dollar Naira. KuCoin doesn't have dollar Naira, so I won't go to KuCoin. I'm going to stick to Binance. So that's why I said, yeah, you have to look at the markets you want to trade, even the products you want to trade. Interestingly, Binance now has gold. You can trade gold on Binance. Okay, you can trade gold on Binance. On Binance, you can even do forex. Forex is normal currencies, not crypto, but normal currencies. Let's say dollar, euro. On Binance, you can do that because on Binance you have dollar, on Binance you have euro, you even have Ghanaian currency, CDs, and other African and other Europe and Asian currencies. So it means on Binance you can actually trade forex. But now this forex is not the conventional forex. Okay, so another thing you look at is the fees. What is the fee? Because for every transaction you make, there is a fee. Before I forget, a transaction occurs when the buyer and the seller price meets. That's when the transaction occurs. Okay. So for every transaction you make, there's a fee. So you need to consider the fee that exchange is going to charge you. Then also, this one now is important, the minimum withdrawal. You need to look at the minimum withdrawal they're going to charge you. A friend of mine deposited some money into an exchange and wanted to withdraw, but could not withdraw because the minimum withdrawal, there's no minimum deposit. Most times, no minimum deposit. So you can freely deposit your $100. No, let me even say $80. You deposit your $80 into an account, into an exchange to trade, and maybe you've traded with that $80 and it's now $90, and you say, oh, I have an emergency, I need my money, I want to withdraw my $90, and the exchange, their minimum withdrawal is $100, which means you cannot withdraw your $80. It happens to me. There was this exchange that I was introduced to, and I wanted to try it, because it has a unique feature, it's a bot exchange. I wanted to try it, so I deposited $30 into it just to. Now, when I say $30, I don't mean like fiat. It's USDT, that's crypto dollar. So I deposited $30 into it and I used it to trade. I didn't like the exchange, so I wanted to pull out my $30. I discovered that the minimum withdrawal in that exchange is $100. So the money is stuck there. Okay, until I trade and build it up before I can withdraw it, or maybe I have to transfer extra fund into it before I can withdraw it. So you need to consider the minimum withdrawal. Then you need to consider usability and complexity. How complex is the exchange? Now, when I started trading futures, we'll talk about that one later. When I started trading futures, I did not like Binance setup for futures trade. I was using Bybit. That is another exchange. It's American exchange. So it's very good, very simple, But Binance was complex for me. So I was not happy with Binance I was not happy using Binance to make that trade. I have to make some suggestions to them that why is your stop loss and so features? Why is it like this? Because I've been used to that Bybit trading futures. Their buttons is so easy, So you need to consider complexity of the exchange. So what I have to do, I have to sit and learn the features I wanted to use to trade that market. So another thing again is reputation. This reputation goes with all this. It goes with liquidity. Like Binance is number one. So you need to consider some of all these factors. You don't need to do all these things yourself. Just suggestion. One can just tell you that okay, this exchange is good. This one is not like good. Especially those people who have tried different exchange and those who have experience in them. So let's recap. I know it's been a long time. We started with more than the number of people we have here. But that's what crypto is. We just have to persist. So let's recap. The requirement for trading. For those of us that are already trading, it's the laptop, mobile, and internet. What to trade? The trade asset for us now, we are trading digital assets, okay, like cryptocurrencies. You can trade by the time you advance, you can trade gold, you can trade forex on, you can trade anything, even stocks. You can trade. Trading is trading. It's the same the same skill, just like driving is driving. No matter the vehicle you pick, driving is driving. But there are different fields. Like I liken it to agriculture. Agriculture is agriculture. Your normal, you clear the farm, you do your planting, you fertilize, you water it, you harvest, you do your weeding. Agric is agric. But now the crops are different. Some person might be farming rice, some person might be farming beans, some person might be farming yam. The markets are different. So trading is trading. If tomorrow there's no crypto, I can say, okay, I want to move to forex. If tomorrow there's no forex, I can say, oh, I'm tired with forex. I can say I want to move to stock and start trading companies' stock. So trading is trading. But it's just that you need to master what is it called? Master a market. You can try many other things, but you need to focus, master one. And me, I started trading with cryptocurrencies. So that's why I've not learned forex now. It's the same thing. I've done some little things on forex, but the platforms are they are different platforms. So I just stick to crypto. What I'm saying is, once you have the skill, you have the skill. You can trade anything. You can trade stock, trade Google stock, trade Microsoft stock, trade anything. So trading is trading. So that's why it's a skill that is really good. So why do trading work? We talked about it. Is because of the principle of demand and supply. And what are those things that influence or affect demand and supply? Economic factor, political factor, and natural factors. Some of these factors can be predicted, and you need to follow the news. Like if we knew that there's going to be coronavirus, many people would have sold their stocks or sold their coin. Let me show us something. My screen. So we have 10 minutes more for this to run up. Let me quickly show us something. I want to. I'm on. Where am I? I'm on dollar naira. Okay, dollar naira market. Coronavirus happened in Nigeria especially. Though in the world though, but in Nigeria, I think the heat of it was in March 2020. Okay, now look at this graph. If you look down here, let me screenshot. Can I screenshot this thing? I want to screenshot this thing. Please let me know. I'm sharing a different. I want to share a different screen now. So let me know if you can see it. Coronavirus happened in March. This is March. The time is not showing. Okay, but you can see this is March. Okay, now globally, all the markets crashed in March. All the market crashed. If I could If I could show you, if I could show you if I could show you other markets, you discover that in March all the markets crashed, as in they went down. So now, if we knew it was coming, everybody would have sold their stocks, sold their crypto, sold their assets or whatever they have. They would have sold it. This Bitcoin that's around 39, 38, 37, $40 today. Bitcoin got to $3,000 during coronavirus hit in March. It crashed to $3,000. US crude oil went as low as negative, that's below zero. So if we knew, people would have sold their stock. So that's why things that affect the market, hmm, we need to know where we okay. We need to know things that affect the market. Okay, so some of them are predictable, some are not predictable. But in technical analysis, with technical analysis, you can do some predictions. So it's not perfect. So we talked about that. So natural disaster, political factor, economic factor. So we had to trade an exchange, and we looked at some of the most important features on an exchange market or market pair. I call it the market panel. You know, those things are like panel. We look at the market panel, we look at the order button panel, we look at the graph panel, and we look at the order